Let us try to get him a referral this week. Our 8-minute presenter is Franklin Spiker. I got bit by that spider. Pegasus Online Marketing, Online Inc. He's located in Northwest Portland / Beaverton / Hillsborough. The profession is website design and online marketing, which he's been doing since 2008. His previous types of job include IT consultant, musician, which he actually still does, I believe, recording studio owner, and fortune cookie writer.
I only did the numbers on the back, though.
Oh, just the numbers. My spouse, or fiance, is Jennifer. Children, Leia and Keith, with 5 grandkids between Jen and himself. He does not have pets right now, but he's looking for a poodle.
Yes.
Actively looking for a poodle.
For the spring.
For the spring? All right. Since residence of Beaverton for 15 months. Hobbies include musician and songwriting, working out at a gym, hiking, activities and interests are optimal health, metaphysical studies, exploring consciousness, self-improvement, UFOs, and alternative history. Burning desires to understand the meaning of life. What's something no one knows about you?
So speaking of traveling, I was thinking about this. I don't know if anyone knows here. There's a International Blues Challenge, which happens every year in Memphis, Tennessee. There's about 100 bands and 100 or so solo acts. And I've been there twice now with 2 different bands when I was living in Reno.
Nice.
We didn't win, but actually the band that represented Oregon last year, Ray Gordon, she actually won. So if you get a chance, you know, it's a huge competition in the blues world.
Oh, that's cool. The key to his success is helping his clients create success. I give you Franklin Spicer.
All right, so today we're going to talk about landing pages. So in its loosest sense, a landing page is any page that you land on when you come from somewhere else, whether it's search or another website. That's its loosest. In a more stricter sense, a landing page is a page that you land on that has some type of call to action or multiple calls to action. So on a website, typically, what is the most common landing page on a website? The home page, yeah, that's where most people are going to land, is on your home page, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. In its strictest sense, and what we're going to be talking about today, is a landing page has one purpose, and that's to get you to take an action. So a landing page, you're going to drive traffic to that page for a specific purpose with a specific call to action with only one decision point. You want them to take the action you're giving them or to leave. You're not giving them multiple decisions to do. That's a true landing page. So that's what we're going to talk about. So I'm going to give you an example here, talking about how they get there. Let me expand this out. That's a bummer. Oh, there we go. So this is an ad. This is still that Zippity News is working on for Donald Tuman for homehealthcheck.us. So this is the ad that's going to drive them to the landing page. Problem: is your home making you sick? We've got migraines, headaches, anxiety, body pain, etc. Is your environment cause? Find out. So here's the actual, this is the call to action. Call Donald today for your free home health check. That's the call to action. We've got the phone number, but we also have the landing page for people that want more information. So that's driving them to the landing page. So the landing page, there has to be this continuity. There has to be synchronicity, so that, or synergy rather, so that when you get there, people know that they're there. So, yeah, so right away we tell them, hey, you're at the right place. And then now, does this sound familiar? Is your home or office making you sick? Right, because it ties in to the way that they got there. So they feel familiar as soon as they get there. Now what we do is then we give them a little bit of information. We give them a call to action. Call today, get your free home health check, find out now. We give them the call to action right up front. Just a little bit of information. And what we do with landing pages is we call it chunking. So then we give them a little bit more. Do you ever feel? Now here's, again, tying into the ad, more information, but we're giving them a more chunk of information that also ties into the ad. And again, this section has its call to action. Contact us now. That's the decision point on this call. Call us now. Contact Donald. Get your home health check. That's it's not get a free ebook, hey, learn more. It's one call to action on this. And we start giving them more information. bigger chunks. But we keep giving them calls to action because we want to get them, we want to catch them. And then at the bottom, you can see how the tone changed also too, from what's the problem to now it's a solution. By the time we get to the bottom, we're giving them solutions. And again, a call to action, and then we have the contact form at the bottom on this particular one because if they haven't called, then possibly they're going to send a contact form. So that's one example. I want to show you for attorneys. This is a very expensive word, accident attorney in Portland. You know, 25, 50 bucks per click or more sometimes. And these are people that are running ads. Law office of Gary Norris, personal injury attorney. Boring. It doesn't address my problem. Have you been hurt in an accident? I can help you. Get a free consult now. That's what it should say, right? Attorneys are very narcissistic, generally. They are. That's just, you know, they think it's all about them. If I tell, oh, law office Gary Norris, oh, Gary Norris, well, of course I'm going to go to him. But it's not. It's always problem and solution. But I want to show you these landing pages. These guys are spending a lot of money on AdWords. Here's his landing page. Picture of his office. Well, who cares? Who cares? And also, look, we've got multiple decision points. There's nothing addressing the ad. There's no tying with the ad. There's no clear call to action, and there's multiple squirrel. What? You see, you have that, right? You don't want them to get distracted because the more distracted they get, they're going to go. They're not going to take your call to action. Here's another one on that same page. Now this one's a little better because they're actually kind of addressing it here, but they're doing it in a slider way. And they've got all these other things that are distracting. They've got different calls. There's no clear call to action. It's a little bit better. And then this next one, these guys are spending a lot of money on AdWords. Now look at this mess.
Where do you go?
Yeah, where does your eye go? Yeah, well, they're at least they're doing the right thing. They're addressing why you're there. But where does your eye go? It doesn't know where to go. It's just a mess. So let me show you one that we partner with a radio agency in Houston, and so we're doing landing pages for their clients. So when we come in right away, so people are coming in off of your 404 lawyer, so right away they know that they're in the right place. And this is a sample page, so the number's not quite correct. But you can see, have you been injured in an accident? You may be entitled to compensation. Call to action. Problem, solution, call to action. Right in their face, small chunk, small chunk. And then we drive them down a little further. Next thing, we give them a little more chunk. Now we're going to tell them what this lawyer has done for other people and why they should choose him. Again, call to action. And then now this appeases the lawyers because again, they want to show off their staff and themselves, and that's okay, but we're putting it down here and giving them their little logo and some more information, a bigger chunk of information, and again, this is all for the lawyers here, and then we give them a testimonial, but you can see everyone has a call to action. Now, I want to have a little test here. So here's image number 1, image number 2, and image number 3. Okay, raise your hands. How many people like image number 1 the best? How many people like image number 2?
It's a Halloween.
How many people like number 3? Right, so you can see the difference in the room. This is called split testing. This is one aspect of split testing. And here we're split testing images. Now we can split test different titles, different calls to action, different colors. But split testing is hugely important for landing pages because you got to see how people react. Now my favorite is number 2, personally. I think it's funny. And, right?
I like it. It's funny.
I think it's funny, but you saw most people went for the visceral. This is more visceral,
yeah.
Right? This is problem. This is pain. So most people went for the pain and the funny. So split testing your landing pages is a great way to see what's working and to make sure you're working effectively. So I'm just going to leave it at that. If you want to find out more, I've got more examples I can show you, more stuff that we've done. And I appreciate your referrals for people that want landing pages like Donald, Franklin Spicer, Pegasus Online.